no partner is more essential than India. In the months and years ahead, it is my goal as ambassador to pursue a very ambitious agenda. We will do this as true strategic partners, each bringing strength, respect, and leadership.
This man speaking on your screens is none other than Sergio Gor, who after assuming charge as the US ambassador to India stated that very clearly that no partner is more essential than India, and his goal in the coming months and years ahead is to pursue a very ambitious agenda. Sergio Gor, the US ambassador designate and a key member of President Donald Trump's inner circle, arrived in New Delhi on Friday night as India-US relations face unprecedented strain. What all statements did he make? Who is he and how did he get to this position? Let's get into it. Hello and welcome to another episode of Deep Dive brought to you by NewsX. I'm Asavri Jindal and I will be taking you through these new revelations that come about after Sergio Gor's speech and a lot more details about him. Appointed as envoy in mid-November, Gor described his arrival on social media saying that it's great to be in India, incredible opportunities ahead for the two nations. While all of this has been happening since his visit to India, let's recall and go back to a time when he was appointed and what he had said about India, US trade relations during his confirmation speech. He stated that getting India to stop buying Russian oil is a top priority, whereas today he has stated that there is no partner more important than India. And we have all just heard that. Therefore, Gor's statement makes makes one question if it is indicative of a shift in the stance of the US when it comes to a trade with India. He has also previously made a statement about holding friends to certain standard and mentioned India in the same breath. Let's listen in.
We hold our friends to a different standard. Frankly, we expect more from India than we do sometimes from other nations.
Gor's arrival comes amid a fresh row between the two countries following US Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick's claim that last year's proposed trade deal stalled because Prime Minister Narendra Modi did not call President Donald Trump, a new claim Delhi rejected as inaccurate. The two countries have also recently been at odds over Trump's decision to double tariffs on certain Indian goods to 50%, including 25% additional duty linked to India's purchase of Russian crude oil, as well as changes to the US immigration and visa regime. Let's take a closer look at what he said during his speech today. He has made multiple comments on friendship throughout his speech and has reiterated that throughout his travels all over the world with President Trump, he can attest that Trump's friendship with Prime Minister Narendra Modi is real. Listen in.
I've traveled all over the world with President Trump, and I can attest that his friendship with Prime Minister Modi is real. The United States and India are bound not just by shared interest, but by a relationship anchored at the...
Gor has also announced that India will be invited to join the Pax Silica as a full member next month. He has explained that Pax Silica is a US-led strategic initiative to build a secure, prosperous and innovation-driven silicon supply chain. Listen in.
Include Japan, South Korea, the United Kingdom and Israel. Today, I'm pleased to announce that India will be invited to join this group of nations as a full member next month.
A light moment with a strong diplomatic message recalling his last dinner with US President Donald Trump. Gor said that Trump fondly remembered his visit to India and spoke at length about his great friendship with Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Expressing optimism, he added that he hopes President Trump will visit India again, possibly within the next year or two. Injecting a touch of humor, Gor noted Trump's well-known habit of making phone calls at 2 a.m., quipping that the time difference in New Delhi, it might actually work out rather well. Let's also take a look and a closer look at who Sergio Gor is. Sergio Gor was born in Sergi on November 30th, 1986. He was born in Tashkent, then part of Uzbek Soviet Socialist Republic in the Soviet Union, and grew up partly in Malta after his family moved there in the 1990s. He attended De La Salle College, a Catholic boys' school in Malta before his family, in fact, immigrated to the United States in 1999. In the US, Gor completed high school in Los Angeles and went on to earn a bachelor's degree from George Washington University, where he was active in conservative student politics, founded the campus chapter of the Young Americas Foundation, and participated in college Republicans. Gor was born into a family and spent his earliest years in Uzbekistan and Malta. His mother established a business in Malta and registered as an Israeli national before the family's move to the United States. The upbringing involved multiple cultural influences, and his family background contributed to his multilingual and international early life. Whether this marks a genuine reset or a carefully crafted diplomatic balancing act will unfold in the next few months. For now, one thing is clear. With Sergio Gor in New Delhi, the India-US relationship has a new face, a new tone, a high-stakes agenda to deliver on. We will, of course, keep a closer watch on this ambitious roadmap and how it translates on the ground. Joining us at this point in time is Ambassador Gauri Shankar Gupta, former diplomat. So thank you for your time speaking to us on NewsX. And I'd like to understand from you, what would you perhaps say are the three sticking points as far as Sergio Gor's visit to India is concerned?
Good evening, Ashwari. It has been a pleasure to be on channel with you. First of all, let me tell you that this will definitely help us in repairing the damage which has happened to Indo-US relations. Sergio Gor was an influential member of very close circle of President Donald Trump. He was heading his office of, what they call it, White House Presidential Personnel Office. So he was head of staff in our terms of the presidential office. He has worked very closely with him during the entire presidential campaign, and he headed many meetings and many committees during that time. So he knows President Trump, and he has very close access to him. So this is one point that will help us in overcoming this. The second thing is that any ambassador who is posted, like I have my own experience, his performance is evaluated on the basis of how the relations have become closer during his tenure. So obviously Sergio Gor would like to work very hard so that the relations between India and US becomes closer than what they are today. Thirdly, his birthplace, Uzbekistan, and his parentage, Russian and, Malta, that will also help because he is in that sense a Oriental person. By birth, he was born very close to India. We have very close ties with Uzbekistan. Apart from that, the words which he has said today in his speech, and I'll repeat one or two of them. One is that it is the most consequential partnership of this century. This is the word he has used in his speech today, and I give a lot of credit for using this word, and I'm sure he will try to make his words true, and he will try to make the Indo-US partnership the most consequential partnership in the coming months and years. The second thing which he has used is that the friends can disagree, but they can find a way to overcome the disagreement. Now, this is true. We all agree that there could be, some disagreement between the friends, and that is how I look at India-US relationship. There is a minor irritant which has come because of our import of Russian oil. I think that will be resolved. The US will sooner or later understand that India has, energy needs, and it imports almost 85% of its energy. The energy exporters are limited because Iran is not allowed to export. Venezuela was not allowed to export till recently. We don't know what will be the position now onwards. And therefore, India has very limited sources from where it can import, and Russia is one of them. Naturally, US will understand this. US can also join the exporter of energy to India. We are already, in fact, increasing our energy exports from US. Apart from that, as you mentioned in your opening remarks, the PEX silica, which is basically the rare earth elements which are going to, provide strategic access to, modern what you call technology. India will be invited to become partner of that particular, alliance, and I think that will be very helpful for India because India is also looking for rare earth materials which we need for our semiconductor industry and even for ordinary industries like automobile. So these are going to be, indeed very important issues. Now, the first test of this relationship and Mr. Sergio Gor's presence in Delhi will come in terms of our bilateral trade agreement, which has been under discussion for the last 6 7 months. I hope this can be concluded in the next month by February end. If that happens, I think that would be already a positive outcome of his presence in Delhi. But on the whole, I believe and I am quite hopeful that his presence in Delhi will help India tremendously in improving our relations with US. One more point before I close. He is also the US envoy to South Asia and Central Asia. And therefore, we should also explain to him that US closeness with Pakistan, which is a state which is promoting terror all around the world, the terrorist organizations and individuals are funded and aided by Pakistani authorities, and the close relations of US with such a country are not desirable. So in the context of his mandate for South Asia, I think this point should be brought to his notice by the Indian authorities. I am sure they will do so. So these are the points which I thought we should mention. Bangladesh will also come into play because US government has been instrumental in changing the regime there, and I hope the new government will be friendly to India and the jihadi elements and fundamentalists should not gain the upper hand in that country. These points must be clarified to Sergio Gor, and I'm sure he will work for that. Over to you, Ashwari.
Right, absolutely. With that, I'd like to thank you for joining us on NewsX, sharing your insights and perspectives with us. On that note, a short break.